Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mind Over Matter, the Mom Podcast, a space where we have conversation with incredible women who embody resilience, who embody intentionality in their motherhood journey, in their career journey, and in their life. And in today's episode, I have an incredible guest. As always, they're all incredible, yeah? But this one, our fave, you and me, we both love her so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Mpano Paulette.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hi.
Thank you for having me.
So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here. Let's read her incredible journey in this life, okay? Mpano is a wife and a mother of 2 boys. Her passion is dancing. She also loves spending quality time with friends, hosting brunches at home, indulging in self-care, and creating thoughtful gift packages. And guys, she brought me a gift package. Oh, that is to remind all of you guests who are coming about gift packages. Anyways, so in her professional life, let's get it. Paulette is the head of culture, transformation, and talent acquisition at I&M Bank. Before joining I&M Bank, she served as the director of people and culture at Irembo Limited. Paulette has also held roles as communications manager, executive associate, executive assistant, and corporate communication officer. She holds a master's degree in leadership and organizational development from Oklahoma Christian University and a bachelor's degree in communications from Mount Kenya University. A whole powerhouse. Karibu.
Asante sana.
Okay, let's start with the icebreakers. What's something people would be surprised to know about you?
So I think most of the times people are surprised that I already have kids. Not only have kids, but I had 2 of my boys before I was 25.
Yeah.
That's one thing that everybody's always shocked about.
Your age and how much you've accomplished.
Exactly, yeah. It has to do with age, but also it's like 2 kids?
Yeah.
When did you have them?
When? Abandi basinzidi.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Icebreaker number 2. What's the most random place you've ever broken into a dance? As her bio says, she loves to dance.
Yes.
So, yeah, what is that random place?
I love me some dancing.
Yeah.
So there's a time I was in the US. I'd gone to visit my sister. And I remember we were going in the streets.
Yeah.
And there's like people who sing on the streets. And they were singing, I'm in love with the shape of you.
Hey.
I think it's Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it is.
So
yeah.
I was on the streets, I was walking, and this guy was singing. He had a really good voice, so I started dancing on the street, and people stood around, and they were
and they're
giving
watching
him money.
I think I saw a reel. Was it a reel then?
Yes, I
was
posted it.
Yeah,
I
like a
posted
video
it on
your
Instagram.
It's still there?
I believe so. It's like old, but it's still there for sure. Yeah.
So we'll leave her Instagram handle. Please check out that video. It is that time she felt like, wow, she just burst into a dance randomly on the streets. And then the other icebreaker, what is the moment in your life where dancing made you feel the most free or alive?
Gosh, I feel like every time I dance, whether it's just like a random dance or at a wedding or anything, it makes me feel alive. But if I have to pick like a period, it was when I was doing it professionally in Kinyarwanda. Shout out to Indanga Mirwa.
Shout out.
Indanga Mirwa. Like I used to be, there was just a sense of community, of dancing, like our traditional dance, of putting forward our culture. I always felt so good ndi mu ngamba hagati turi kubyina twese duseka, and it's a very like happy dance. So
I mean, talk of happy dance, like every girl who like, even the boys, they're all like smiling. It's like a part of the dance, like your smile has to shine.
You literally can't dance in Kinyarwanda utari muraseka.
Yeah. Wow.
If you're doing that, I'm sorry, you're
doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Have to smile and like
you have to smile. Kiyumva,
love yourself.
Yes, that's what coaches say. Ugomba kwirya, ukareba umubyimba wawe, things like that.
Lovely. Okay, so now, as a parent, you're mom of 2 boys. So what's one thing you swore you'd never do as a parent, but you do now? What you do now?
We were talking about it, spanking. It's, I really thought a lot of reading about kids, how to raise kids. You know, there's this thing about you don't beat up kids. I agree. There's levels. But sometimes I find myself, to slaps.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
You know, when they get to your, I
Your
think that was
nerve,
one,
yes.
And saying no. I had this thing of, I will never say no.
To
it's
my
not
kids,
good.
yeah.
No.
No, left, right, and center.
Sure, man, vira go to let it go.
Yeah. I remember, actually, I do relate with that as well. I remember before I was a parent, also because we were spanked a lot as kids, I just felt like, man, it was violence.
Yeah. Violence. Wow. Right.
My husband has a very funny story of when he was beaten. One time, he'll kill me, but I'm going to share this. One time, when I would go say, and then he like pretended as if he had fainted.
Wow. That's how bad things were.
Yeah, like, no, I mean, not by his parent, but like, you know, those days, like, culture, like, the community, everyone is punishing. Yeah, but...
Exactly. And the worst were at school.
Yeah.
The worst were just being beaten up at school.
At school. Yeah. So for me, the pain from, like, being beaten and feeling like, I always feel like I won't beat my kids. But it's not like crazy beating, but it's like the spanking. For sometimes the words don't get to them. And some kids, gentle parenting doesn't work. You can't
they take it for granted.
Like, please put down this. Please,
please.
No. Honestly, like with this internet world, trying as much as want to limit screen time, but end up having watching the tablets or whatever, and you do something weird. Recently, did something, and I was like,
no,
there's
not under my watch.
Yeah. So, and sometimes they used to, most like my son is so used to me. If I tell him something, he would just like,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, she's like, technically, be like, Mom, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then until I was like,
Siripa. Correct.
Siripa. And you, sapatu. Sapatu. And then, he will like, I won't do it again.
Like, this is a serious thing that you can't play with.
You can't play with. Yeah, so I hear you. One last icebreaker that will venture us into the conversation of today. Okay, so what is a career risk you took that completely changed your path, whether for better or for worse?
Okay, so I think it was when I took a new job that was less paying, and it was almost half of my salary back then, but I chose to take it because I felt like it was a job that was going to propel me to the next level.
Yeah.
I felt like I had been doing the same thing and I wanted to change. But in order for me to change without the experience in that field, they took me at an entry level.
Yes.
And they offered me a package that didn't look attractive at all. But I said, if I want to change the course of my career, I have to do this. So it was very risky because I had to obviously change my lifestyle. I was also having babies at the same time. So, but
what a bold move! What a bold move!
I agreed with my husband. I was lucky to have him as well to also support. But obviously, it was
Kabidi. And you already have this lifestyle you used to. The company comes in.
Exactly. You have your own like independent things you do outside of home. Then you contribute at home. So you have to change completely how you manage money. So that was a risky move for me because then it also means wherever I negotiate next, it will be based on that salary, not on my previous salary. So I had to basically go back. And then,
But here we are.
Here we are. It was a really good decision.
Move.
It ended up being. It's not necessarily the career I ended in, but it showed me that wasn't my career, and I was hung up on it.
Yeah.
So it showed me that wasn't my career, and I.
What was it?
It was communications. Actually. Okay. I studied communications for my bachelor's, and I always thought that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
So when I did it for 1 year, I realized. Not for
you.
It
didn't love you back.
No, it didn't love me back.
Yes.
So but it showed me that. So I stopped being like all hanging on it.
Yeah.
And I chose another path, which ended up being my career now.
Okay.
HR.
HR. Okay, so now let's just, from the icebreakers, let's dive into the conversation for today. So our conversation will be centered around leadership, because she will share her journey from where she was into the leadership position and how she navigated those changes in her life. And also we shall talk about friendships and how friendships as an adult, how you can maintain your friends and nurture your friendships, but also not feel like you're stretched thin, and also to know who is your community and to build your people. So let's dive into the combo. Okay?
Yes,
Okay, let's
go.
redive.
Let's redive. Let's re-go.
Let's re-go. Let's do this. Okay. Yes. So this career path that you chose, it led you to where you are today.
Correct.
Could you, in few words, walk us through your journey?
All right, so I started supporting CEOs. I was basically, when you support a CEO, you basically manage their calendars, but you also do everything where they need your support. So you have to know what's going on in every department, but without necessarily diving into them. So you have to make sure that the documents they bring you for the CEO like make sense, and that means you have to understand what they do.
Yeah.
That job really helped me to understand what happens in every like different fields.
Yes.
But it wasn't necessarily a role that could allow me to like grow into it. It's a role that doesn't have a lot of like growth layers. Some people become chief of staff and more, but I didn't see it like coming fast. So I wanted to dive into comms. So that's where I took the less paying job just to go into a specific career. Did comms for 1 year, and it just didn't work. It didn't work for me.
Yes.
I remember starting, and they gave me a Canva account, and I was like, I thought we're gonna do public relations.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna talk to people, engage, host events, and whatnot. Those are the parts of comms that I love.
Yeah.
But photography, videography, graphic design, not my cup of tea.
Okay.
And I didn't realize really, but in other institutions, maybe where the comms team is bigger, they will have someone who manages that, but have like specific people who went to school for that, who do the technical work. But unfortunately, at that time, the company I was in I was by myself actually, and then later on they gave me an intern. So it wasn't working for me. I didn't enjoy it, and then at some point we just had to call it quits with the team that I was working with at the time, the company I was working for. But also at the same time, I had a lot of people close to me who were telling me, Eriko, you should try HR. You should try HR. It looks like, even my first ever boss kept telling me, like, I've worked with you. I've seen how you like translate information from different departments. Yeah. And I feel like when you're in HR, you're actually like, you sound like an HR person. Yes. You know? Whereas
you're people person, so it makes a lot of sense.
I guess. So I went into HR like that. I got an opportunity with Irembo, where I had actually worked before as an executive assistant. So I went back in an HR role. And I spent 1 year as a coordinator. So really everything around events, operations, making sure that the company runs in terms of HR and all of that. But I had a manager and a team around me. So it was also a good time to be with a team and to have also a manager who was really good and who had her experience. Yeah. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her. Over at Mind Over Matter Pod, we shout out to you.
We shout out. So she really helped me also find myself in that career. She made me love it. Yeah. I realized like some things that people would say, oh, this is so hard for me in HR. I would find it easy for me. Oh. Like I actually didn't know that I could be able to relay like sad information, right? Yeah. Because I thought I don't like confrontation and all of these things. But I realized when it's work, I manage. And those are some of the things in HR that are really tough, because you get into people's lives and you have to consider that even if you're going to fire them, this is a person who has a family, who has responsibilities. Yes. But work is work. So how do you also decouple
Yes.
those, but also remain empathetic.
Yeah.
And, like, tell them in a way that is not that does not demean them. That does not.
Yeah.
So HR is all of that, and I think I love it. I've been loving it. So from there, when my manager left, that's when I took over her role.
Okay.
And that was the first leadership position I had in 2022.
Wow.
So
Yes.
no, 2023 actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
it was
how
really
was that? How
interesting.
is
Yeah.
navigating the career growth, like, going to the leadership position? And you mentioned how you were having babies at this time.
Correct.
Tell us about that, girl. Tell us. What's the secret?
Man, so I mentioned before, I had both of my babies before I was 25. Actually, I was getting out of the hospital when, like, I had my baby on the 21st of October, and I turned 25 on 23rd of October.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like 2 days after, and I was getting out of the hospital, and I
Yeah.
was 25.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I should be somewhere celebrating and getting down.
Yeah.
But here we are having
It was
our
a big
second
birthday.
baby. It was a big birthday at home.
At home.
Yeah, with
At
my
home,
baby
yes.
breastfeeding.
Umva,
We are
ndakumva when I
laughing so we
celebrate.
don't cry.
Right.
But yes.
When I was celebrating when I turned 30, initially
Yeah.
I also thought
Yeah.
I would be like, ah.
Exactly.
But 30, I was pregnant, I was
Yes.
down,
Yes.
but 31st,
Yes.
I came in strong. Let me hope that is 26th birthday.
My 24th, actually. It's
Hey.
like I knew.
Ah.
It's like I knew because at 24, I really celebrated
Yeah.
fully the way I wanted. My friends know I
Eh.
celebrated properly.
Oh, that's nice.
So I feel like I knew. But it's
Okay.
probably because I had just had my first baby and I was just getting back to myself.
Yeah, getting
And
your
I was
spark
like, this
back.
birthday,
Eh.
we are celebrating it. So 25th came when I was having my second.
Okay.
So that was before I even joined Ide Mbo
Okay.
again. I was still with
The previous.
Moko, where I was a communications manager.
Okay.
But basically, those times, I feel like I was just on it's days where sometimes I even think about it and I'm like, how was that? Because it was also around the time I was doing my master's degree.
Wow.
When I finished bachelor's, it's not because I love studying a lot and I am no, it's because I knew it was important for me
Okay.
to grow into a career. And I've always, like, I wanted it. I wanted to say, I want to have my master's degree, then I continue with my career.
Okay.
And luckily, I was able to do it while also working. It was either online or after work that I would go study. And those days, I was just on a roller coaster of things. And I just, sometimes were hard, some other times were okay.
Yeah.
But I just told myself, it's temporary.
Yeah.
It's temporary.
This
I
too
have
shall
to-
pass.
This too shall pass.
Yes.
It's temporary and I
Yeah.
have to get through it. So,
Yeah. So what do you
those days
think was
were
your
quite-
drive during this time?
Man, in terms of school, I think my drive was, I didn't want it to lag. I had seen many of my friends who, like, maybe said, I'm going to relax a bit after a bachelor's or after even high school. They're like, let me relax a bit.
Yeah.
But
Mbashaka
going back
mafaranga.
to it, mbeshaka mafaranga. But then when they go back to it, it becomes a bit difficult because now you're so detached.
Yeah.
So I told myself,
Vive munzira. I have to do it.
it.
So, parallelly, you're having kids here, your career is progressing, you're going back for your studies. Wow. Yeah.
It was a roller coaster. Even me, like, I 2019 to 2022. Yeah. Those 3 years, so much changed in my life.
Yeah.
But, like, when I look back now, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It did.
But during that
During
time,
that
it was the
time.
trenches.
Oh,
It was the
yeah.
trenches, but, like, small wins would, make me really happy. Like, finishing my master's degree was, I was like, thank you, Lord, that you helped me push through
Yeah.
and make it happen. When I finished having both of my babies and now I was like, okay, now let's focus on career. That even then I was like, okay, I can see people who are also doing career and babies at the same time.
Yeah.
When I was having them, I was like entry level, going up the ladder.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I finished having them is when I got the opportunity to now take on bigger roles and be
Okay.
able to say I can actually focus on
Okay.
on this leadership.
So the timing was really helpful
Yeah, the
because
timing
now you
was
were out of the season where you had like little babies and
Yes.
they're still little anyway.
Yeah,
but
they are.
but at
Yeah.
least
But they don't depend on me as much. Yeah.
as much or solely. You know that stage where you have a month's
Exactly.
old baby and then you have
Exactly.
to
You're their food.
yeah. I had asked about one of the challenges that you faced going through this leadership role as a young woman. Also having to lead, I could presume people are one older than you. One of the things you had to face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, that happened definitely, and it was quite an experience because they took a bet on me and they said, you know what, we think you can do it.
a shout out to
Yeah.
people who take chances on, you know.
Yeah. I think it's important to take bets on people. I agree with people who say bring someone who has experience. It's gonna be easy to have, which makes sense. Sometimes a business needs someone who has experience because of maybe the period they're in, but also you're losing on potential. You're losing on knowing what people are really good at if you don't take bets.
Yeah.
The other thing is sometimes you bring someone who has experience but who doesn't have all the other parts that are needed in leadership. You know, someone who comes and maybe breaks the team, or you know, and people work with trust. They work
Yeah.
with, like, you know, they have to feel like there's cohesion. People are not robots. That's
True.
So you can't. So that's another story.
Talking
for
like the
another
HR that she is.
I was
You are
getting
in your
into my
element.
yeah.
Yeah.
But to your question on the challenge, I think people being able to trust you, like you said,
Yeah.
some are maybe your age or older than you. The other thing is, for me, I had to also lead people I had been working with. So my colleagues, you know, where you feel like, oh, we can banter, we can go out together, we can chill, we can talk about other people.
Yeah. Yes.
But you know, now you're the person they talk about.
Yes.
That's one.
Yeah.
And it makes sense
Yeah.
because you're their leader and they have to, if you do something they don't agree with, which
Yeah.
happens, they will have to talk about
Yeah.
it. If you do something they like, they will talk about it.
Absolutely.
So I feel like the trust, like being able to have people who trust you
What about
on
respect?
your team. So respect for me, I feel like it should be everywhere, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Regardless.
really- regardless.
Yeah.
I feel like even before I became their manager, we respected each other.
Okay.
And it's the same thing across, like, I feel like in a company,
In a professional
setting, everyone should respect everyone.
I agree.
These things of hierarchy or someone who just started who's an entry level shouldn't be respected doesn't make any sense, because they're bringing something. They're bringing something that
Yeah.
nobody else can do.
Yes.
So you have to respect them for that. And trust now is where things, for me, it became really like, I had to be very intentional
Yeah.
to show my team that they can trust me. The only way I was able to do it would be like, talk to them, open up to them. You have to remind them that you're also human. You can make mistakes. You can have some ideas, but they may not be the best.
Yeah.
They might have better ideas.
Yeah.
It's
So you
not
have to
because
create that space
Exactly.
that you can. Okay, where do you draw the line? Like I can still be a
Yeah.
leader, but also
Yeah.
we can still be besties. We can
Yeah.
have open conversation.
That's a tough one. I think it's a tough one to say. Yeah, I can be a leader and we still be besties. It takes a lot of time to build that because you have to get to a point where you know that I will call you out and it won't be personal.
Okay.
Whether I'm the leader or you're my leader,
Yeah.
if we have that friendship, it has to, like, we can't be best friends if we haven't gotten to a point where you know
You
that
can
I will
separate
call you
the-
out.
yeah.
And we will not take it personal.
Okay.
And that's very hard because
Yeah.
as humans, you don't like to be told that you're doing wrong, let alone being told by your best
somebody,
friend, that
yes.
someone you call your close friend.
Yes.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to franchir cette étape. Like, you have to get to that level where you're like, you know that this was wrong,
Yeah.
and I will not have your back because we're friends. This is work.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever had that kind of relationship, and I think it's normal, like with work. But the trust is really like, now, can you trust me that I will have your back when you're doing the right things? Can you trust me that I will tell you the truth? Can you trust me that I will not sabotage you just for personal gain? And then the boundary is like respect, like you said, which everybody should be respecting each other. And then it's also like, if we agree on something, we're going to do it. If we can't agree, at the end of the day, someone has to make a decision, and then it comes to the leader. So I think that's where the boundary has to come, because it can't always be consensus.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't agree as a team.
True.
And you're the one who's going to be responsible for it. So then you have to make a decision. And I think that's the trust. For them to trust that, okay, we are not on the same page on this point. And this person, Paulette, has decided that this is what we're doing. We know she will, if it doesn't go well, she will say, I'm the one who made this decision.
Yeah, she'll take accountability.
So, I think that's like an example of building trust and making sure that people know that there's no harm. This is professional. We're all building to the same goal. And now it's others are semantics.
So is there like a moment that that happened to you, maybe you could share if you're comfortable, and then it was like a learning curve for you during this transition? Like a moment, like something happened, and then it was like a teaching moment. Like, because I always believe we learn from our mistakes, or for us in order for someone to grow. Like, my previous job, my manager used to tell me that if you're not making a mistake somewhere, it means you're not going beyond your potential. You're not growing. Like, because she would come, she was okay. That was her way of like talking to me, telling me this is not right, or maybe this maybe you could do better here. But she's like, if you had not done this, I wouldn't know even how to correct you. So it is a good thing that you're doing it anyway, and you're making mistakes while you're doing it, so that you can learn. So is there a moment in your career that happened, mostly in transitioning to leadership, that happened like, hey, this was a learning curve for me?
Yes, definitely. I think there were many moments. Maybe one I can share is, I think around the time when I took on the leadership, we were working with several people, and I was starting to manage people who I have been working with. And I think that at that time, for me, it's like I expected trust immediately.
Okay,
Like I didn't think I would have to work for it. So
you're like, my integrity, you're gonna
like you're gonna trust me, you're gonna know that I am the leader that you needed, whatever. So I think I went into it feeling like it would be easy.
Like entitled to it.
Exactly, entitled to that
the trust,
which my boss had, my manager had, and I thought it would be also easy for me. But I feel like throughout that, it for some people it actually happened. It was immediate, like, okay, let's do this. We got this. I'm with you. And for some people, it was, we're gonna take time to see what you do to
prove yourself.
And at that time, I was pissed. I was like, I don't understand. You don't listen to me. And I remember there was one particular case where, like, we had to at some point sit down and talk about it, because it was becoming very toxic. Because I felt like, you owe me respect. You owe me to listen to what I tell you.
Do you think like that's something most leaders like have?
Yes,
like,
very
because
much.
now I'm a leader, you have to respect me.
Many. Because I'm a leader, you have to respect me. You have to trust me. You have to accept everything I say. And it's not true. It's not true. You're at the end of the day, you're human. Yesterday, you were on the same level. Now, because you have a different title, it doesn't make you were in the right time at the right place. You got the opportunity, and they did not. But it doesn't mean that you're the best in HR, for instance. For me, all of us had something we were
to contribute.
Everyone, like my entire team, everyone was just good at something that I could never be good at as well as them.
I feel like it takes maturity.
Oh my God!
For you to
it takes time. It takes
maturity to realize and know, hey, even though I'm in this position,
Yeah.
I am not good at
Yeah.
everything. I
Yeah.
need the team around me because
Exactly.
someone does it better than I do.
Yeah.
Even if I am on the leadership.
Even
Yeah,
if
love
no,
that.
it's that's a given, and
Yeah.
I wish many leaders also saw it that way and understood it,
Yeah.
because for me, so that was the learning curve for me,
Okay.
because I realized one, not everyone is going to react the same way to this promotion that I just got.
Yes.
Two, I have to prove myself. Whether it's with like who I am as a person, whether it's with my competence, whether like people have to trust in you. When you're the leader, they have to know that you can do the job. They can trust you. You're going to have their back, and all of that takes time to build.
Yes.
So for me, that was a learning curve, understanding that it's not just gonna come easy,
Yeah.
and I had to work for it. I had to get the team together, build the team, get us to be so in sync that everyone around knows, yeah, HR team.
Yeah.
Like, bababazi
Jobari.
together, you know?
Together.
And that was very
Yes,
important
that
for me.
part.
It didn't have to happen immediately, but I like to feel, of course, probably my team would be the ones to say it's right. But for me, I feel like we got to a good point where I felt like, actually, for me, it's not even about the work we're doing. It's the fact
Yeah.
that we can trust each other,
That
that we can hash out whatever we don't agree on. We can
Yeah.
talk about it. The fact that we can talk openly with each other. And today, all of them are still my friends. And I, honestly, yeah, I'm grateful that I had a team like that during that
That's
time.
amazing. So you leave, and now you are at I&M Bank.
Correct. Completely different industry, field,
Yeah.
ways of working. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's before we dive into that kapate, what are one of the sacrifices you feel like you did as a person? Yeah, as a person, to be able to feel like, hey, I am in this place, but it has taken me this amount of sacrifice or this weight of sacrifice for me to be here or to be able to do this.
That's a really good question and a heavy one. I think if I called them sacrifices, I would maybe ignore that also I had opportunities that came to me that I did not like work for, or like sometimes you're lucky. In life, I believe in luck, and I feel like I was usually in the right place at the right time. And I would say I also acted in the right ways for me to
Yeah.
be able to be noticed
Yeah.
and to be, maybe that's the part I have. But another whole like 60% was being in the right place,
Yeah.
the right people noticing,
Yes.
being able to bet on me.
Yeah.
So I think that I would say in terms of sacrifices, it would be probably allowing myself to do more work, spend more time at work,
Yeah.
show up,
Yeah.
do things that are not just my job,
Yeah.
make time for work that I would otherwise maybe make for my friends and for my kids. But I do also think that it wasn't mostly sacrifices, it was also being in the right place at the right time, and it allowed me to, have those
Yeah.
opportunities, catch them,
Yeah.
and hang on to them.
So one of the things that you being where you are and who you are as a person, how have they collided?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think the few things, for the most part, it's worked out. But I do think there are a couple of things that I had to change. I had to adjust about myself
Yeah.
in order to embrace those other responsibilities.
Yeah.
At first you're like, I'm part of a team, so
Yeah.
you can do
Whatever.
Nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
Like for me, a simple example would be like my TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Normally I'm an open person.
Okay.
I like to share about my life.
Yeah.
I have no I like to share about what I go through in life. And that comes from my family to my kids to my enjoyment.
Yeah.
No.
Midst of enjoyment.
Uva.
Yeah.
I hope because your role, Murgwan.
Yes.
Yeah, so So the little example is like TikTok. I feel like I saw myself like you see how you throw YouTube videos every now and then. I thought that would be me on TikTok.
Yes.
But one
we miss you guys.
Chibatisha, but we'll come back.
Okay.
Maybe. But
Yes.
we do videos once in a while.
Okay.
But every time it's people's shock on the face. Like everybody's like, urabyina kura n'umugabo.
Right?
And I'm like, turabyina nyine.
Yes.
Sometimes in a funny way,
Yeah.
but sometimes also in a judging way, where
Yeah.
it's like, umuntu ujya kuri pano ukavuga warenze ukajya gukora TikTok video.
Where is the balance?
I
Where is the
can be
balance,
both.
people?
I can be both.
You can be
So,
both, absolutely.
Our mindset is still, there are many things that are still like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't be like that, you shouldn't be too happy, too enjoying. You should be so collected if you're a leader, and you should everything should be, I don't believe in that. I believe you should be yourself.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
being collected and calm and kurangiza akazi saa kumi n'ebyiri ukajya mu rugo ugata ejo mu gitondo same routine, it's okay.
Where's
If
the
you're
work-life balance,
different,
people? Where's the work?
If that's your
Yes.
work-life balance, please be my
Over.
guest.
Yeah.
But if also your work-life balance is to do other things, then you should be allowed. You
Yeah.
shouldn't feel like, I shouldn't do this because now I'm this, I don't really...
So I feel like also, of course, mind over matter. We embody the mindset change. Like everything is about how you think and how you perceive it, your perspective about life.
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking about how that part of that is who you are. Like you just so you lover of life, right? And also even if the judgment could come from other people, but also there's the creeping also that comes like, hey, hari ukuntu ngomba kwitwara like a leader. There's some I could do a TikTok video, but what is the context or the content in the TikTok video, right?
Yeah, no, that matters a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's definitely a fine line between doing ibintu by'urukoza soni
Yes,
and having fun.
Yeah,
And we should be able to make the difference. So obviously, like you're saying, it's important to know that what goes into my videos portrays integrity, and it's just having a good time with my family or my friends, versus things that would jeopardize even like your family's reputation, your own reputation.
True.
So there's definitely a fine line, because there are also other people who go all the way, on the other spectrum. But people should also feel free to enjoy life, have fun, and show that they're having fun.
Yeah. Lovely. That's why this episode also we like to know people who they really are. Like outside the I was gonna say the bossiness. Talking of boss, you look so amazing.
Thank you. I mean, Misa outfit that I've had for 2 years. She had even forgotten about it, guys.
Can you imagine?
I've
you
had
look
this
amazing.
for a while. I love it. I have like 10 blazers from
Mwiza outfits. Okay, let me shamelessly plug myself. If you don't know what Mwiza outfits is,
we'll link it down.
Just plug me. Tell the people.
So Mwiza Outfits, you'll find it here, is the brand that is behind the name Mwiza and the person we're with today. And please follow. They have amazing blazers, and
Unique.
a blazer will give you confidence.
Absolutely.
Confidence.
Yes.
So, and that's why even on a weekend,
it's
my blazer will be on.
Yeah, actually, even people look at me now. You're directing the conversation. People always thought like blazers, like only the people in the office that wear blazers. But no, I feel like a blazer is an everyday essential wardrobe that you can have on a weekend. Over leggings, whatever.
Jeans.
Jeans.
So,
and you look amazing. The color palette.
Thank
You look money. Give me some. A color palette?
My friends, they know. Like I have a palette and they call it color palette.
Guys, you look lovely. Yeah, as I was saying, I mean, we love to see who people really are behind, like not only behind the desk or behind this mask of like I'm a leader, I'm a tough, da da da. That's why I mean, over here, it's not like we don't do interviews. It's more like conversation, getting to know somebody on a deeper level. And I hope you're enjoying the conversation so far. If you are, do not forget to follow us on all social media platforms. Do follow our YouTube channel. It's Peace Miza, as you can see, pop up here. Take a second to subscribe. Share this with anybody and everybody that you know, because over here we have fun, but also we do have inspirational conversations. So now, leave Idembo, you go to I&M Bank.
Correct.
How is that for you? How is that working out, girl?
It's
climbing
good.
the ladder.
I'm loving it. It's a great experience because now it's a completely different industry, completely different like ways of working. I was working in a place where everybody's also almost the same age. Everybody can speak English. Everybody uses computers.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, it's the same.
No.
Different.
Yes.
Obviously, we work with people who have been there for years. We work with people who just arrived, so young, grown up. Some people, I am their kids' age, and we have to navigate that. And you have to be the HR for these people, and they have to come to you, and you have to listen, and you have to support them.
Yes.
It's a great working environment.
Okay.
They're doing well on the market, so we are happy. We just launched an app, so if you're not banking, if you're not banking with I&M, please. This is not sponsored, but
I&M should sponsor this podcast, this episode.
But we just launched a new app. Things are happening, and it's great to be part of a company or an institution that is doing well. And I feel like that's I&M right now. So it's great. It's an amazing time for me. I'm in charge of cultural transformation, so it's a lot about even beyond doing what they see externally, internally for our people. How do we make sure that people work better together? People are excited. We create a vibrant working environment that everybody's excited to come to every morning. So it's a big challenge because obviously I&M has been there for so long. Yeah. But I was trusted to go and do something. Now I'm working on it.
And you're doing it.
I hope that it really works out, and I'm excited to continue. With them.
Wow. I can't wait to see where this life takes you. You're doing amazing stuff.
Same. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so now I want to talk about friendships a little bit. If you follow her, we that follow you, we see that you have a vibrant life outside of work. Talk about like work-life balance.
Hey, I can balance it.
You can balance it well. So how do you think the friendships, how has your growth, whether in career or in the motherhood, how has that, I would say, transformed or shaped the friendships that you have today?
I think that's a good question. I'm one of those people.
As an adult, can I add that part?
As an adult. We're adults, my God.
Yes.
A scam, but yeah.
They lie to us.
We're here. I love being an adult, actually. I'm not complaining. It's good to have your career, your paycheck, your people, your family. When you're a child, you have to depend on people. And now it's on you, right? And I'm enjoying that journey of adulthood, even though sometimes it's a scam.
Yeah, it is hard. Yeah.
But I think I'm one of those people who used to have a lot of friends. Lots. I used to be able to keep up with like muri primaire, muri secondaire, muri everywhere. I always had like groups of friends that I belonged to. And I feel like the more I took on other roles, other responsibilities, be it motherhood, career, it slowly just like naturally happened. Some, it completely phased out. If we used to talk every month, we end up talking every 6 months. Then we meet on the street and we're like, I missed you. And then we do a coffee and then that's it for another year. Yeah. But then there are also people who, I feel like when you're an adult, when you meet people in the same place. So for instance, like most of my friends, we went to uni together. Others, we had something that connected us like for a long time during that journey that I was in. So either we were working together or we were going to uni together or our families knew each other. So we had something that made us
common.
meet
Yeah.
beyond us two being friends.
Yeah.
So I feel like those are the people who kind of stayed, because then you see them often, you talk more often, you get to share things, they know what you're going through.
Yeah.
So obviously it narrowed my friends.
From friends to acquaintances.
Some from friends to acquaintances, others from, it's, and it just happens naturally. And then you end up with like those few people.
Core people, yes.
Who you see more often, who you talk to, who will talk to you. And I think that's how it has shaped my friendships. But it has also allowed me to have deeper friendships.
How do you nurture those deeper friendships?
Oh man, I think it's talking. I love a deep conversation.
Yeah. Same girl. I remember when I met you at the stairways, when I came to immediately.
We wanted to
deep, like you have an update of the whole month in 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love them. And when a friend opens up, I am ready to go. I'm the person who shares more, usually. Okay. I share a lot. I feel like it's, even my friends know, Paulette have filter, you know? So I share a lot. Whatever is happening into my life, I feel like I must not be the only person it's happening to.
Yeah.
So I share. And when I share...
And that is actually the power of sharing.
It really helps.
You end up finding that somebody else is going through the same thing as you. And we don't know what that story that you've shared about you know the impact they will do. I feel like that is my life. Like even now I'll share something randomly, like and someone's like, oh my god, I'm going through the same thing.
How
like,
are you? And then it becomes
it could be healing.
Some people are different. Some people it takes time to warm up and to tell you. Some people, they prefer to keep things to themselves until they figure them out.
And that's okay.
I think for me, it's when talking about nurturing friendships, it's understanding who my friends are.
Because they're now also different.
They're different.
And they're loved differently as well.
Yeah. If you're the kind of person who, if I share, you will share immediately, we will go into it. If you're the kind of person, I know that you're going to struggle with something and keep it, then I have to give you your space and allow you to, when you tell me you need me to be there for you, then I will come in. But obviously it can be difficult if you're not sure. And I think for me, I thrive more with friendships that
communicate.
That communicate like, Sha, I'm going through it, but I'm not ready to talk about it.
This is how you can support me.
Or this is
because you'd think you're supporting, but are you though?
Exactly.
I have a friend.
Exactly.
I have a friend because now I'm a sharer. Like if I'm going through something, I want to talk about it. I want to and for her, she first like processes, and then she'll come to you when she's ready.
Yes.
Now for me, being the pushy person, it's like what is? She comes, she's a little. Hey girl, you know yourself. She comes, she's a little sad, and I'm concerned. So I'm like, hey, what's up?
Tell me.
She's like, I don't feel like talking. I'm like, but if you talk about it, you'll feel better. And she's like, you'll feel better.
This is not about you.
Yeah. She's like, you'll feel better because now you feel like you are being a friend. But Mugani, she didn't feel like I'm being supportive the way she wants me to be supportive. So I hear that part. Yeah.
Exactly. So me, I would love, I love when you tell me, I'm not ready to talk about it. You know how you can support me? Let's go out, I forget it. And I will not ask you about it.
Yeah.
Because then I know how to support. Or it's like, now I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we do that. So I think that's like in terms of nurturing friendships, it's really understanding who your friends are, understanding their boundaries, respecting them, and then being there. Like when they need you, be there. Whether
when it actually
it's something
matters.
small, whether it's something big, if your friend, the person you call your friend, if they call you and they're like, can we meet? You know, sometimes it can be hard because there's
a lot is going on. But I always feel like if something is important, you make time for it.
You make time for it.
Absolutely. No one is too busy for
30 minutes.
Yeah.
You make time.
If it's just that text of checking in on
exactly. The text,
And also your texter. Is it
I am a texter. I am a texter.
Don't call her texter.
That's savvy. Like my
if it can
cousin
be said
and best friend
through.
likes to say that's savvy. She knows who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I already said, I don't know. I read this somewhere. Someone was saying it. That if we can be texted,
Fuji.
why are you calling me? One of the challenges, okay, as an adult,
Yeah.
that you faced in friendships. I wouldn't say challenges, but one of like friendship is different at every season and season and age and of life, right? Because I believe that the way I was with friendships in my 20s, I don't think it's the same way I navigate friendships right now in my 30s.
Yeah.
Damn, that's hard. Yeah, so how is that for you? How is that for you in this your big age?
In this big age. Nanjye ndi kukabakaba 30. Vuba ngaha. So what I think it's probably accepting that some friendships die.
Oh, yes.
Accepting that
Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some people are in your life for a season, for a reason, and also
for a lifetime.
For a lifetime.
Correct.
So it could be a reason. A reason could be maybe we have something in common. They may need you at a particular time. The service I'm offering, we're working together.
Yeah.
There's a reason you're in my life, right? When that reason is done,
bye.
And then the season, there's some friends that were in my life because of the season I was going through.
Yeah.
Like maybe I was fresh into motherhood. I needed my people. I needed my community. So the people I was talking to were only
people
moms
who
got
just
it.
had babies.
Yeah, just had babies. Because you get it.
Yeah.
So that season called for certain people in my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes they could be for a lifetime because now that is where
exactly
2000 is.
Exactly.
Remember, because after that is when you will know if this person is meant to stay in your life forever or they were there for a certain period of time or for a certain reason, and that is okay.
Mind over matter.
The Mom Podcast. Yes.
Gems.
No, good.
Yeah.
So what would you say was one of the things that helped you navigate? Oh, I like using the word navigate, but don't we all navigate life? Being a leader, being a boss at work, being a boss at home. A boss, I mean, you have, this is your home. Also, like some responsibilities. You also the kids, the partner. What would you say was the number one thing that helped you thrive in this season of your life?
I think we talked about trust in the workplace. I think for me, it's trust also in my home. Like for instance, I don't know if it's a power, something I just have innate in me. If I'm at home, I'm at home. I will focus on my home. If I'm with my friends, I will be with my friends. If I'm at work, even my husband can testify. Sometimes it's hard. He will call me, Sinita, I'm sorry. But I have to work on that. But basically, for me, it's like if I'm in one thing, I fully focus.
Yeah.
And I love it for me, honestly. I know sometimes it can be difficult because you still have to balance. It just happened, honestly. I think I'm in something, I have to give my full self.
Yes.
And I think how it has helped me to do that, especially from on the home side, is having people I trust to help me.
To help you.
If you're my nanny and you're my helper, I have to trust you.
Yeah.
You have to be someone that I can trust with my kids. And I think that's what we all thrive to have.
Yes.
And side note, we have to take care of them. They're also human and they do the Lord's work. So we have to be able to respect them, to pay them what they deserve. We need minimum wage, by the way.
We need an episode on for the nannies and people like
those
care,
people,
home care,
God bless.
Home managers,
God bless. I've been lucky. I've had like 2 really good ones. In the middle, there's been a few hiccups, but I've had 2 really good ones that I can leave them with my kids anytime. 3 actually. I can leave them with my kids and be at peace. And I wish that for every mom, all of you moms. But basically, for me to be able to focus at work is because I know at home it's covered.
It's covered.
For me to be able to focus at home, it's to know that I've done what I have to do at work.
Yes.
For me to focus on my friends, I have to know that at home, at work,
Bimezene.
bimeze. So for me, it's really trying to be in the moment, having peace of mind of icyo ntakoze harunduri kubukinkorere at least, especially at home.
Yeah.
At work, icyo ntakoze, no, it's not because I didn't want to do it, it's because I didn't have enough time and I will get to it when I'm back at work.
Yeah.
And really trying, that's something that started this year, honestly,
Yeah.
being able to say, to do boundaries of
Yeah.
nimba nihaye ko njya ku kazi ndakajyamo full
Yeah.
condition, right? But if I decide to leave, if it means leaving my laptop, I will leave it, but I will be present in whatever other like situation I'll be in. And that gives me a lot of peace of mind and a lot of like, I enjoy actually the moments I'm in, the people I'm with. I get to be there and be present. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for pouring your heart, for sharing with us your journey and all the gems. I wish you could just like dance for us a little bit, but okay. Hey.
Next time,
TikTok. Right? We should
you.
should a TikTok video together. For
Let's do it.
No? I don't even know.
I always have things ready. Like
Right?
we have there's one famous called Venus by Faceless and Serotonin. There's this woman, an old woman. Everybody was sending her her video to me. Go, no saza.
Yeah.
She was dancing, such a good dancer.
Okay. Maybe next time
Next
I'll be well
time.
prepared.
Mentally.
Mentally, because I'm like, dang. I remember one time I did like a thing when I was sitting, like, this is for you, ma. This is for you. That I used to dance in my last life.
Yeah, we appreciate.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you so much for pouring your heart. Thank you for sharing your journey. And thank you for coming to Mind Over Matter podcast.
Thank you for having me, Miza, and all the best with
Thank
your
you.
podcast. Please subscribe. Mukande kuri ako ka notification down below. Murebe video zose niza kera. By the way, check out our old video.
Yeah.
If you're a mom, soon to be a mom, planning to be a mom,
Yeah.
check out the video we did. We'll link it
Yeah.
down below.
Yeah,
That's how we do it. Down
We'll do a
below.
pop-up on the screen and also in the
Yes.
description box. We shall put it there.
Yes.
And yeah, before we go, what is the one mantra you go by?
Peace of mind.
One last word for a mom out there, for a woman out there who is navigating life again, who is trying to pursue career, build a family, and have a fulfilled, happy life. Say something to her as we end this podcast.
You can do it.
There
You can
go.
do it.
No good.
No.
Jose ni mumutwe.
Ici. You can do it.
All right. That is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for being with us. And I'll see you in our next episode. Do not forget to follow us, share. And yeah, remember, mindset is power.